I'm starting off with a 220 grit waterstone. I have had to reshape these gouges to give a little bit longer cutting edge and reduce the acuteness of the heel on the back of the carving tool. And I always use black magic marker to see where the edge is, and then when I go to cutting the edge on the stone, I know that I've got the proper angle. And what I will do is that I will work through these grits and then eventually get up to I think my highest grit is 4,000 grit on my waterstones, and then I will put it on the buffer and clean up any kind of lasting effects from the stones. And what I like to use is I like to use a jeweler's loop. This particular one has a little light on it, little LED light, and I'm able to look at my edge to see, since I'm recutting the edge here of this tool, I look to see if I've got a uniform edge from one side of the wing to the other side of the wing, so that when I do a deeper cut, that I know that I'm not crushing the fibers, but I'm actually cutting the fibers. And so try to keep the stones have been curing in water for about 48 hours, and I like to do that. Some people just stick them in there for about an hour, but what I find is that the water stones really need to be saturated. They really need to be able to hold water so that you can create a slurry that you want to help with the cutting action of your see, you can see right here where I'm missing the that portion of the blade as I'm sharpening it. So I need to pull the, see that, I need to pull that a little further, rock that edge a little further, so that I get the full cutting edge. There, you can see that it's that I've reached that. Then there's still a little bit of left extra. That's up on the top of the heel here, and it won't cause any problems. So, and then of course I will go through each of the gouges that I have here. These are some older gouges that a friend of mine, his father was a carver, and these are older tools, and I like the older tools. Chris Pye talked about tools that he had bought that were older or hand-me-downs, and each of the carvers, since he is in Europe, you know, of course carving has been around in Europe for, you know, hundreds of, maybe thousands of years, but one of the things about him is that on his tools he actually has a couple of gouges that have 4 or 5 owner's marks. They were maybe an X or a hash mark or a cross or a circle or hash marks, whatever the case may be. And you know, he's got himself a fine legacy there, that he is the 5th or the 6th carver in line to use that tool. And so there's something romantic about that I like. And so I wanted to make sure, this is not one of them, but I wanted to make sure that that I tried to hold on with the tradition. I kind of like some of that stuff. So so it's been a long time coming, excuse me, for me to be able to get these tools cleaned up and ready to do work with. Some of these types of profiles, whether like this one here, this is a very, very small one. This is probably a 2 mil. It looks like probably something around a 9, number 9 or so. But unless you're getting Dockyard or even some of the newer Flex Cut, these are harder to find. You know, I know that Henry Taylor carries some, but some of these other tools Here's one that's even smaller than that. This is probably a 1.5 mil. I don't know if you can see the difference in the two, but this is a smaller gouge, and so I like this kind of stuff, you know. So anyhow, stay tuned for more helpful videos.